you're having a look at this little video, it's probably because you want to have a go at macaron. And to begin with, they seem daunting, but once you've mastered them, they are a friend for life. They're fabulous. Use them as cake decorations, give them as gifts. They last for ages, they're naturally gluten-free, and there is some satisfaction in getting them right. The quantities I've given in the recipe are what I would call half quantities. They're going to make you about 60 shells, which is about 30 macaron, because that's a big enough amount to start practicing with. It took me 2 or 3 goes to get them right. So this is a fairly detailed video. The best of luck, and the secret is don't over mix. Let me show you. Before we get started, I'm going to need 2 bowls, each containing 40 grams of egg white. So here we go, we've got icing sugar and ground almonds, and I'm putting them in the bowl of my food processor, blitzing them together to get rid of any lumps, and then I'll be using this mix to push through a sieve into 40 grams of egg white. Don't whisk it up or anything, you just leave it as it is. And then give it a really good stir. If you're going to colour your macaron, put your colour in here as well. I'm doing these yellow, and you want it really dark because it'll lighten up later on. So once you've got that to a really thick paste, then you'll start to concentrate on the other 40 grams of egg white. We're heating a sugar syrup to 119 degrees. And whilst that's happening, then you can start to whisk up your other 40 grams of egg white. You'll be whisking that to soft peaks, and when your sugars come to temperature, you pour that into the meringue with the whisk going all the time. It'll thicken up, it'll go nice and shiny, and you keep whisking until it cools down. And once it's cooled down to a temperature where you can put your finger in and it feels neither hot nor cold, then you know it's about right, you see. And then what I'm going to do now is put about 1/3 of that meringue into that thick paste that we did at the beginning, just to loosen it up. And then I put the rest of the meringue in, and this is the important bit. You need to be really careful. Don't bash it around, just fold it in gently until all the colour is brought together and the paste and the meringue is well mixed. And then I'm loading this into a piping bag that's fitted with a nozzle. Do you see, I find it easier to load it into a jug like this. Put the whole lot in there, and then I've got a baking sheet that I've lined with reusable baking parchment, and I'm going to start piping these little macarons. And I pipe them to about the size of a 50p piece. And the consistency of the mix should be such that it leaves a little nipple on the top, do you see? And then that nipple will disappear. When you get back to the macaron that I piped at the beginning, that nipple's disappeared. I then put them in my oven with just the fan on, because I want these shells to dry for 30 minutes, and you'll know they're ready to bake because they'll have a skin on after half an hour. And then I bake them in a conventional oven, not a fan oven, for about 18 minutes. And do you see, I'm just going to have a look. These are not done yet. And when I lift it up, it's still wet underneath. So they'll need another 2 to 3 minutes, because you want them smooth with a little skirt on like that. And then I'm just finishing these off with a drizzle of white chocolate. Got our perfect little macaron, and I made the filling yesterday because I wanted it to go really cold and thick. And filling them is just dead easy. Let me show you. So I'm filling now these macaron shells. I put them in pairs before I start filling them, and then a squirt of that thick lemon cream, and then just squeeze them together. I do really hope you have success with these. Let's all have a smile.